What is up, guys? Big A here, Big A's Barbecue Garage. So we are down here in Helena, Alabama today. Well, I've been down here for about a month. Some of you may or may not know, but I just received a kidney. I've been on dialysis for about 3.5 years, and I got a kidney down here at UAB. So I'm still recovering and doing pretty well, and hopefully we get to go home here soon. But today is the 4th of July, and we don't have our normal setup, but we're going to show you that no matter where you're at, you can still create a great steak. You can still reverse sear, you can still do whatever you want, and it still be good. Well, first of all, man, look at this. It is just beautiful out here. Staying up here at a little bed and breakfast area. And so we're going to be doing some two 1-pound ribeyes, and we're going to be reverse searing those. So because I have weight restrictions and stuff on lifting, Trish is kind of helping me out with the heavy lifting today, and cleaning out the grill and putting the coals in, and so it's been kind of a mess. But take a look at this setup that we're going to be using today. So here's my lovely assistant, Trish. Hey, babe. So we're trying to clean this out the best we can. They have a little scraper, but most of the time they don't clean this thing out, so we've had to clean it out already. But we're going to set it up. We're going to do offset, and back here we're going to be putting our coals. We've also got some wood chunks. I don't think we brought them out, but we're just going to be using Kingsford Blue Original. We got our tumbleweeds. We went and bought some lighter, so we're going to be setting that up. And once we get rolling, we're going to show you the steaks. But so we're going to be doing those with garlic jalapeno and the pecanery rub, and we had some SPG that we have. I think it's actually
picked it up at Buc-ee's.
Yeah, we actually picked it up at Buc-ee's in Leeds. So we're going to put that on there, kind of give it that coarse look, like a good steakhouse steak. But we have hickory chunks today. I normally like to use post oak or cherry, but I just grabbed what I can find. Once again, guys, you don't have to have an elaborate setup, but we're going to show you what we're going to do. The one thing we do have is our trusty thermopan. I like to use that all the time, but if you don't have a thermopan, any thermometer will do. And we would go for medium rare today, but because of the new kidney, I cannot eat medium rare. And well, I can, but I'd rather not take a chance of getting sick and rejecting this kidney. Yeah, maybe not till we're home, but we're going to aim for about medium today, and that's about as high as I'm ever going to go. And so we'll see how it looks. Okay, guys, here's our steaks. One side is seasoned so far, starting to sweat out a little bit. But 2 cowboy ribeyes, a little over a pound each. Nice, a little thick. I prefer them a little thicker, but when you do a Walmart order, they just pick up what you want and don't really care. So, but we got some decent spinalis on each one, and that's probably what I'm going to be eating on mine. Trish can have the rest. But and again, the whiskey bent and Kendrick's barbecue pecanery, garlic jalapeno by Heath Riles, and Cosmos Q beef dry rub. So, all right, guys, here's our setup. We got our fire going. We got our wood chunk. We're doing indirect. So we're going to reverse sear these steaks. We've got a hickory wood chunk, our charcoal, and we're about to put these steaks on. We've got them over here on the other grill. Man, those look good. Nice and coarse. And then, of course, once again, a beautiful background. So Trish is going to shut this lid and show you what we're dealing with. So we closed the top vent on the back side of the lid over there, but the bottom one is open where the fire is, and the top one's open on the opposite side. And man, this thing is so jank. So you push down one side at the front, and then now look, the back pops up, big old gap, letting everything out all the way across. And then when you try to close it down here, you come back to this side, and then this side pops open. So whatever company this is, Pilot Rock, I mean, come on, guys, do a better job.
You should have chose that one.
Yeah, we should have picked this one over here. So you got to pick your battles. But once again, we're going to get these ribeyes on and get to smoking.
I think that one's missing up a little bit of that.
I wanted to do a tomahawk, but these are good to go. We're going to close down the lid, let them ride. I'm going to check these probably in about, I would say 20 minutes, just because I don't have a temperature to check this, as you see on the top, and don't really know how hot it is, but we're still going to do a reverse sear and get them going. And when we come back, we're going to probe them. Like I said, we have our thermopin, and then once we reach probably about 100 internal, we're probably going to go ahead and sear them off, and Trish is going to go inside. She's going to make a compound butter. I mean, if we're staying here, you've got butter, and then just use some of the seasonings we've already used. You can use salt, pepper, garlic, but she's going to create a compound butter for them, and then we're going to let them rest. I don't have my cutting board. I don't have my knives. I don't have anything like that down here where we're staying. So we're going to go with whatever this bed and breakfast actually provided, and hopefully they have a decent knife to slice this with.
But we happen to have a thermopin.
But we happen to have a thermopin. I don't leave home without it. So great products. But we'll see you guys when we go to check these steaks. And we may flip them part of the way through, 15 minutes in, just to keep that smoke on both sides kind of even. But we should be back in probably 15, 20 minutes. All right, guys, it has been about 15, 20 minutes since we put these ribeyes on. Again, we don't know how hot the temperature is in here. We're aiming typically usually about 200, 250, and then we kind of fire it up to sear them off. But we're going to check on these ribeyes, and I'm probably going to flip them just so that smoke can kind of get around all the sides of it and cook evenly. So let's take a look at these. Oh yeah, those are looking good. I'm just going to check the temp real quick with my trusty thermopin. Oh, we're already at 100, so we're running kind of hot. That one's at 88, but I'm going to go ahead and flip these bad boys over. Just so we can kind of get a good look on both sides. I'm going to let them ride just a hair longer on here, and then what we'll do is we'll come back and sear them off. I'm not going to let them go too long. I'll probably let them go probably maybe 5 minutes, but again, looking good. Hey guys, we are back. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start searing these off, and again, we still have a little bit of our cold bed. We have just enough to start searing these steaks. Let's see here. Typically I have my gloves and my liners, but once again, we don't have all that. This is keeping it simple. And typically I usually go for about a minute, minute and a half on each side. Depends on the thickness. These may go about 45 seconds. But once again, we'll go back through it. We use the garlic jalapeno as a base, then we use pecanery as the next layer, and then we use the Cosmos Q beef dry rub, which was basically a SPG, and let them sit, let it tack on, and then on both sides, reverse seared them. We had our meat on this side, had our coals and wood chunk on this side, and just finishing them off now. So we're gonna sear these bad boys, then we're gonna let them rest. Trish has already created our compound butter that is currently in the fridge, just getting a little cool and marrying up
Yep.
with each other.
No cellophane to get that nice round disc. Just
I
have
know.
to spoon it on.
Yep, that's what we're gonna do. All right. That's a good looking ribeye. And while that side is searing off, we're going to go ahead and temp this again just to make sure. So we're running at about 115, 116. By the time this rests, we should be at a perfect medium. But we're going to sear this side off good. You can go for that crosshatch look if you want to, but man, it doesn't matter. Ribeyes are king. They're going to be great. I'm ready to eat that spinalis on there if I can handle it. I haven't been able to eat much since surgery, so that's a good thing and a bad thing. But if y'all want to, be sure when you go, like the video, like our channel, follow us, Big A's Barbecue Garage. And while you're there, leave a comment. Let us know what you cooked for the 4th. I mean, doesn't matter what you do. We actually have some hot dogs and some brats we're going to put on as soon as these get through searing off. And because I just want a little bit of the steak, I'm going to let my family have these. And I haven't had hot dogs. Well, I had them the other day, but I hadn't had hot dogs in about 3.5 years being on dialysis. So it's been nice to have something you haven't been able to have in quite a while. Even dark drinks. I'm able to have dark drinks, some other things. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to check this other side real quick, see how our color looks. That side looks good too. And then what we can do is, after we've seared them pretty good, is when we come back, if we have to, we can move it back over here, let it continue to cook, and stay hot while we grill up our hot dogs and grill up our brats that we have. And but yeah, just let us know what you cooked, what you did for the 4th of July. We saw some fireworks out here in Helena. Man, if you're ever in Helena, Alabama, come on the 3rd. They have a huge concert right where we were at. If Trish wants to turn around and look across the bridge over there, they have this kind of little amphitheater. I wouldn't call it an amphitheater, but it's kind of a parking lot right next to the creek. And they basically have concerts, food trucks, and then they shoot giant fireworks off, and did an amazing job, a really amazing job. So we're going to say that steak looks good. And but like I said, when we come back, these will be done, and we'll have our compound butter on, and then we'll slice them up and see how we did. Hey guys, so our steaks are finished. They've been resting. As you see, we have our compound butter. I personally think they look really, really good. We reached about 135 over to 140, most likely is what it carried to, but we were aiming for medium on both steaks just so I could eat them and be safe about it. So we're gonna take this one and we're gonna carve it, see how we did, see how it tastes. And once again, you know, we didn't have anything elaborate that we were cooking with, and we used what we had available to us. So we're gonna take this big ribeye, cowboy ribeye. Man, that looks delicious. And of course we have our spinalis here, but we're just gonna carve this right in the middle just to see how we did. This is not my knife, but that looks like a perfect medium to me. May not be coming through, but it is just pink all the way through, coast to coast. Let's take a look at this other side.
Pretty good for not getting to bind them.
And again, pink every which way. And I'm gonna cut off a little piece of this spinalis. If anybody knows steaks, steaks are the best. The spinalis is the best part. Let's cut this down a little bit. That hickory is shining through on that tonight. I can taste that garlic jalapeno coming through that base layer. We usually go a little bit heavier with that. Has that little bit of sweetness from that pecan rub, kind of balances out well. And then again, we use that SPG on the very top just to kind of give it a little bit of a crust and a kind of a steakhouse look to it. We have a nice char on here, and that's just from some of that sugar that's in that pecan rub. But guys, my family is waiting on this. This was an easy cook. You can do it anywhere you want, whether you're at home, not at home. Just make sure you do your same method. We didn't even have a temperature thing on the pit, but they cooked a little faster than I wanted to, but as you see, the results are still the same. See you next time.